Oh, yes. 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 Hi, guys. Hey. Welcome to the WULFF Den Podcast, everybody. How you doing? I hope you're doing good. Will, how are you doing?
Doing good, doing pretty good, doing all right. Could fall asleep at any moment, but that's okay because we got a show to do. We are here for you and everyone out there going to listen to it afterwards. I'm going to get through this. If I fall asleep and just fall flat on the floor, don't call 911. It's just all part of the act.
I didn't have coffee yesterday, and I was jonesing.
Oh, God, are you okay?
I had coffee today, and I put off having coffee right before the podcast because I got things to do after the podcast. So I'm going to have my coffee after the podcast. My second coffee. Because I didn't have it yesterday. I'm treating myself to two today. I didn't have any yesterday, and at like midnight, I was watching a video and somebody was drinking coffee, and I was like a crack addict. I was like, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it right now. I'm going to break. I got to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're usually the one at the top of the show to try a snack.
Yes, I don't have any on me. I have actually apple cider donut Oreos, but I think my wife is waiting to share that with me.
I had those.
I have to hold all.
I tried those. They are very good.
Yeah.
We don't have Oreos, but what we do have, Will, is frack.
Oh boy.
Somebody on one of the other streams that I do here on twitch.tv/WULFDEN mentioned frack. I don't know why. And you can just get these on Amazon. So I got some frack. These they look like Oreos. So
Yes, like I don't know. Elongated Oreos.
Yeah, this was like $5 for this little pack. And they come in different flavors, but this is the only flavor I could get.
Right.
Let's try an elongated Oreo. Oh, wow, there's like barely any filling. Oh, it fell apart. Frack is not looking too great so far. Made a mess on my little desk mat here.
Oh, frack.
It's an Oreo. Oh, wait. You know, the vanilla part is more flavorful, but there's less of it.
Yeah.
The cookie is thick. This is just an Oreo, dude.
Interesting. I'll have to try to hunt that down and find it. It sounds like a German cookie, and there's a German grocery store nearby.
What?
Yeah.
Since when?
It's that store Lidl. You ever heard of it? Never
Is that
heard
just
of
a
it.
German trying to say little?
I maybe, I don't know. It's are you familiar with Aldi?
Yeah, I'm gonna have another one.
That's Lidl is like their competitor. They're both German. They're both on Long Island now. But there's a Lidl closer to my house, so I'll see if they have it.
Okay. These have a different aftertaste than Oreos, and I like it more.
Mm-hmm.
But
Interesting.
They're really, look at that filling. They're skimpy on the filling.
Yeah.
It's like so little. Give me double stuff this bitch, and maybe I'll like it more.
I am curious. I always wanted to try Hydrox, the original Oreo, because allegedly that is a better cookie.
That's what Oreo stole the idea from, right?
Correct. Yeah. But allegedly Hydrox, like according to cookie experts, tastes better.
Also, some say this is an unsubstantiated claim, but some say it clears up COVID, right?
Yes.
Yeah, unsubstantiated, but I mean, you didn't hear from us, but
yeah.
All right. Anyway, we have some things to talk about today.
Yes.
Also, I haven't been streaming. I don't know why I feel obligated to say this. I was my Amtrak train got canceled, and I'm a day late in everything I need to do this week. So life's a toilet. It got canceled because of the hurricane that never happened.
Yeah.
How was your hurricane?
Wet. That was it. I moved everything into the garage. I got like 3 cans of gas. I filled up all the cars. I made an emergency supermarket run the day before it was supposed to happen. And we sat there and watched it rain. That was it.
Life's a toilet, as Tristan says in the chat.
Still went to mom and dad's for dinner. So
I know. I saw you guys were going there. I was like, oh, I guess everything's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, We need to get into the news right off the bat. I want to talk about this surprise, everybody. Big shocker. Those auctions for those NES games looking a little sus. Who would have guessed that these auctions were a little shady?
Yeah.
You know?
Accusations of foul play surface around record-breaking graded NES game auctions. What the grading companies and auction houses don't want you to see.
I forgot to read all of the notifications. You guys just gave us a bunch. We will read them after the story. I'm very sorry.
Yes.
But I see you. Anyway, in July, this is according to Nintendo Life, who watched a YouTube video. So, in July, just days after a high-grade version of The Legend of Zelda broke auction sales record, a sealed copy of Super Mario 64 sold for $1.56 million, making it the highest price video game sale ever. So what's going on here? Also, before that was a sealed copy of the original Super Mario Bros. That sold for $1 million. So
yes,
let's come on. There's more tomfoolery afoot.
yes.
And I think it's all, well, no, it's not all Heritage auctions, but Heritage had a little play in it.
Heritage Auction is like one of the biggest auction houses in the world.
I've bought comic book art from them.
Yes. So the fact that it involves them is a big deal.
Right. According to the lawyer, author, and proof journalist Seth Abramson.
There you go. First try.
These frack cookies impede your speech. Power brokers in the games auction market are, quote, systemically trying to hide data in a get-rich scheme. Abramson has now released some, quote, hard data in an attempt to spread the word and combat this artificial market. This is a quote from, I think, the YouTube video. In view of the just released documentary on Jeff Mayer, Jim Halperin, Wada Games, Heritage Auctions, and Big Data in the video game market, I'm releasing all my NES market research for free. What finally pushed me to do this was the realization that power brokers in the nation's hottest, most out-of-control market are systematically trying to hide data regarding the market. This below is what the grading houses and auction houses didn't want you to see. The games that are making them rich are the most widely available games, and yes, even in high grades. Even in high grades in the world. What was it? Oh, well, yeah. They're saying that the games are most widely available games, the most popular games, and they're in high grades. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Number 1, Super Mario Bros. 3. Number 2, Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th is that's not that common.
I mean, the NES game or the modern one?
I'm assuming these are all all NES games.
These are all NES games. Okay. I mean, it's probably not as common as Super Mario Brothers, but on Friday the 13th, very popular in the 80s. It's reason to believe that sold a lot of copies back then.
Yeah, but I remember trying to find it a few years ago, and it was priced pretty high. It wasn't like Super Mario Bros. 3. I'll tell you that. Like Super Mario Bros. 3, it's a popular game, everybody wants it, but it's a dime a dozen. Friday the 13th was like $50-$60, I remember. Mm-hmm. At least for a good copy. Anyway, number 1 was Super Mario Bros. 3. That's weird. Friday the 13th was number 2. 3 was Dragon Warrior. 4 was the original Super Mario Bros., which is the highest selling game, or the third now. Because things have been going so fast. Number 5 is a tie between Kirby's Adventure and Tetris. Number 7 is Dr. Mario. Number 8 is a tie between Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Wario's Woods. Number 10 is Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. Number 11 is The Legend of Zelda Classic, which is weird because that's the number 1 highest selling game before Super Mario 64 jumped in. And so on and so forth. I'm not reading the rest. Then this article goes on to say, another quote, when I asked sellers getting rich off this artificial market how they react to the hard data above, they said that even common NES games are scarce relative to scarcity in other markets. But this is a misdirection, as this is only the first wave of the WATA boom. So WATA, Will, what is WATA?
WATA is the gaming, it's the, forgot what it stands for, but it's basically the company that grades games and gives them a quality label out of 10, and seals them in hard plastic that is basically a seal quality saying this game is in pristine condition.
It's the gaming equivalent of the CGC.
Yeah, the Comic Grading Coalition.
Right, and I saw some tweets about them being in hot water recently. This boom, I mean, I don't know if this article is going to get into this, but this boom of these games being rated so high and being worth so much has caused WATA to be completely swamped with people trying to rate their games, because it's just doesn't make a freaking sense. Like everybody's and their mother has, literally everybody and their mother has a copy of the original Super Mario Brothers. Saying that game is worth $1 million is going to create a huge surge of people trying to get their copy of the original Super Mario Brothers rated. So that's the WATA boom. Anyway, it's probably been going on since before that, but I mean, it's gotten a lot worse. Also, another thing about WATA is they've been getting a lot of fake stuff. I mean, as you could imagine. Anyway, they know that because the sealed game boom was significantly COVID-aided, and because WATA has a 6 to 9 month backlog, we're only seeing the early months of these supposedly valuable games flooding the market. By 2024, there'll be thousands of high-grade sealed Super Mario Bros. 3s out there. Imagine paying $1 million for Super Mario Brothers, and then
a game that I can go over to my Switch right now and play if I wanted to, or on my NES Classic, or hell, just go to my parents' house and get the cartridge from them. Or
the original Super Mario Bros., where I could walk 2 feet and get 5 copies of it.
Yeah.
And you know, imagine buying that for $1 million, and then in 4 years, there's a bunch of 9.8s just on the market. Anyway, the data WATA accidentally self-leaked said it had graded 750 plus Super Mario Bros. 3s since its founding in April 2018. It was only founded in 2018?
I could have sworn it was older than that.
But Proof Games only found 65 that had come to market sealed since January 2019. While some of that disparity is because the 750 included non-sealed complete in boxes, it also suggests that major investors are holding many copies of Super Mario Bros. 3 and slowly releasing them into the market to hide how ubiquitous the game is sealed/graded. While that may be legal, it undermines that by 2024 the market will be saturated with games people are paying $30,000 for now. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? But here's the catch. Oh, there's a catch. Who knew there was a catch?
Okay, here we go.
The people paying $30,000 aren't earnest collectors. They're big money speculators. They'll then flip these pretend rare Super Mario Bros. 3s for $40,000, then $60,000, then $100,000 until the market busts and there are no more resellers for the big sellers to sell to. The other thing the rich sellers I spoke to said to justify themselves is that the games underlined in red above have historical significance. That may be true in the case of Super Mario Bros. 3 or Zelda, but not for the dozens of easy-to-find games these guys are now selling for $5,000 plus. To the extent these games are ever sold to in over their heads hobbyists, what the sellers mean by historical significance is merely nostalgic inertia, certain to draw in suckers. To the extent they're largely being sold to other sellers anyway, it's cash, not history talking. You know, this reminds me a lot of Pawn Stars when they talk about video games or anything that they don't really know much about. Like remember when they had they claimed it was like a rare test copy of an NES, and it happened to just be an NES.
Yes, I remember that.
They would have just bought it for a lot.
Yeah. This reminds me exactly of the comic book speculator boom of the 90s, where people started to realize that their old copies of like 30s, 40s, 50s era Batman and Superman comics were selling for a lot of money, thousands upon thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars. So in the 90s, Marvel and DC and Image and all of them decided, hey, every comic is going to be worth millions of dollars at one point. So we got new number ones every other week. We got holofoil covers, we got variants, we got reprintings, we got first appearances out the wazoo until the whole industry crumbled. And almost wiped out Marvel Comics off the face of the earth. So this is the exact same thing that's happening. It's not gonna, kill video games by any stretch of the imagination, but I mean, there's gonna be a lot of damage because of this.
So video games have been taking the same trajectory as comic books for a long time. I say that a lot about when there's a video game movie. Like every comic book movie used to be trash until what? What was the first good comic book movie? Spider-Man?
Well, okay. Well, no, because there was always like the one exception, like all comic book movies were trash except for Superman. Then all comic book movies were trash except for Batman. Then all comic book movies were trash except for X-Men,
I think
now like we're in that wave where they're getting better. Yeah.
X-Men kind of X-Men and Spider-Man kind of snowballed into all of the good stuff we've been getting recently. And there's still been some bad stuff. Video games are definitely on that same trajectory. We still have we're still getting drip fed some good ones every now and again, but for the most part they've been pretty terrible.
There hasn't been a Spider-Man level video game movie yet.
But so the video game industry is massive. And it's I think it's $100 billion industry and growing every year after year. It's worth more and more money. That's bound to burst at some point.
Yeah,
we've been talking about the price of games in general. New games, they've just gone up to $70 from $60. Donkey just put out a video about how they used to be exactly that much money 30 years ago, and they still cost that much money. Like, games should cost a lot more than they do, and it's really hard for the industry to keep up and sell them at the same price. So
that's why they offset them with DLC, pre-order bonuses, and special editions and whatnot.
Yeah, and those other anti-consumer practices. But that's just kind of what the market needs, because video games are costing more than they've ever cost to make, and they're worth they sell for less than they've ever sold before, if you take inflation into account. Nucker in the chat says, Bob, stop talking about this. I know, I hate talking about the price of video games. That's when people are like, oh, $70 now, games are too much money. I hate that conversation, because you don't want people to know that games are you don't want the industry to find out that games are being sold for less than they've ever sold, because all they're going to do is raise the price of games. I don't like the conversation of like freaking what's it like when games sell and they're like, oh, that's too much. Like WarioWare is $50. Is this game worth $50? Because Breath of the Wild's worth $60, and that game's got a lot more stuff. Breath of the Wild should probably be worth like $120. Like that, if we're really getting into it. That I think is going to cause the video games industry to burst at some point. It'll probably be fine and bounce back, but that's a whole nother problem.
You also got to remember that there's a whole other like subsection of games, like the indie games and the the return of like the mid-level games that don't cost $60, that cost like 15, 20, 30 even. So there is that. It's just the problem is, the games that always catch our eye are the big AAA games that cost $60, $70.
Right.
Because the big AAA games are the ones that always push, the best graphics, the best sound, the new technologies and whatnot. And it keeps going back to that one quote, and I wish I could remember who said it, but I want good games with worse graphics that come out on time I want short games with worse graphics to come out on time for a reasonable price. Because then that way you don't have to spend the an arm and a leg to get a game. You can pay a reasonable price for them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've been burnt out on AAA games for a really long time because a lot of them is the same old formula. They're not really introducing much. And I've been going back through my, like playing a lot of retro stuff, and I'm like, this is when people used to take risks, damn it.
I'm playing Super Metroid right now, like an actual playthrough of it for the first time, and it's one of those games where like people say like it's the greatest game of all time, but this is one of those games where you actually play it and you believe them because it is that good, and they don't really make games like that anymore. I mean, we'll see what Dread is like, but they really don't.
I was playing Mega Man Legends recently.
Yeah.
That was my little man, this is before they had games figured out. But I was having a freaking great time. Anyway, back to we were talking about the retro game market.
Yes.
We knew that this was bullshit. We knew that it didn't make any sense for these popular games to be worth so much. I think most of it is just that these people with a lot of money know that there's a collector's market on retro games, and they're like, oh, I remember playing Mario. You're telling me this game's worth a lot? Here's my money. Like they don't know that there's hundreds of thousands of copies of this game out there in the world. And I mean, and then there's that other case of that other auction house that you buy a stock in the product that's being sold, so everybody's just it just artificially inflates the price like a crypto. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, like the idea that a version of Super Mario Brothers 1 could go for a lot of money. I don't see a problem with that. When the news of the test market Super Mario Brothers copy was found, and it was like sealed in box still, and it was a decent quality, that like I can see like that going for a lot of money.
That made a lot of sense.
That's a one-off case. The problem with one-off cases is that they often lead to people trying to repeat that case. People trying to repeat that success story. And Super Mario Brothers just happens to be the most popular game on the NES. Everybody has a copy of it, so they're all going to try and see if it's worth something. It's different for other games that are actually rare on the NES. A game like Little Samson, for example. Nobody's heard of that game. Nobody probably owns that game, but Little Samson is legitimately one of the rarest games that out there for the NES. That's a game that could conceivably go for thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars. But that's not going to grab headlines. Super Mario Brothers is going to grab headlines. Legend of Zelda is going to grab headlines. Games like that are going to grab headlines.
What you might not remember, Will. Oh, no, you definitely remember. What the people listening might not remember is that the test market version of Super Mario Brothers that Will just mentioned, the one that sold for a lot of money, it makes a lot of sense, sold for $140,000. And that was a big deal when it sold back in a year ago. 1 year ago. That was, I think, the highest selling game at the time.
It was.
And it was $140,000. A year later, we're selling games for $1.56 million. It doesn't make any fucking sense. This makes sense because it's a sealed test market copy. There's barely any of these. It's a 9.4. But you're selling a regular old sealed version of Super Mario Bros. For $1 million? Not making any sense.
Yeah, no, this is what I mean, because that has the name brand recognition, and everyone thinks, oh, I have this somewhere. Let's see how much it's worth.
Right. Anyway, the rest of this article just says you can get more of the rundown of the whole thing over on Proof YouTube channel. Carl Jobst has also published a lengthy video breakdown the supposed fraud and deception in the retro video game market. You can check it out below. The YouTube video is called Exposing Fraud and Deception in the Retro Video Game Market. It is 52 minutes long, I think. I do want to watch it. I think somebody sent it to me earlier today. I wish I did watch it before this. I didn't know it was 52 minutes long. I will add it to my watch later. Also, why don't we talk about WADA real quick? Because let's see if I can find this. So WADA is the company that grades this stuff. I saw that they were getting a little flack on Twitter. I think it was RGT85 got into like a fight with one of the guys. I think he completely misunderstood what the guy was trying to say. But basically, this guy, Frank Cifaldi, I think he works. Yeah, so he got picked up by WADA to help figure out what things are worth and stuff. And part of it is what prototype games are real or fake. And it turns out they were getting a lot of fake prototype games. And I mean, I could understand why. I'm trying to find the tweet of his that even mentioned it, but I'm deep right now and I can't. He might have deleted it.
Well, I know Frank Cifaldi is actually like a well-respected video game historian and like archivist. So bringing him in to like vet all this stuff makes sense.
Sorry, I played the intro by accident. I'm trying to find what RGT said to him.
I'm sure it was wacky.
I don't know, maybe he deleted it. But anyways, Frank Cifaldi said if you're someone who collects vintage or video game prototypes, please do your due diligence. I've been evaluating all of the protos submitted to WADA, and out of 5 batches that have come to me in the past year, 3 have had intentionally misleading bootleg protos. So bootleg prototypes, like they're not real prototype games. And prototype games are worth a lot because there's usually like one or two.
One copy. Yeah.
So you can't. And I'd imagine those are pretty hard to figure out if they're real or not, because who's around to tell you like a 30-year-old prototype is the real prototype?
So
basically what he's saying is WADA's had some problems, and he's brought in to try to fix some of that. So at least they're trying, but I mean they probably can't keep up.
Yeah, I mean, because if everyone and their mother is sending in a copy of The Legend of Zelda, I'm sure. I don't even think WADA's that big of a company overall, so I'm sure they're like swamped.
Apparently they've been swamped. Apparently they've only been around since 2018. I did not know that.
That does not feel right.
That doesn't make any sense. I've seen sealed graded games from before that. I'm sure. So I found RGT's tweet. Wow, WADA is a bunch of fucking idiots. Who would have thought that madness? That's it. He quote tweeted Frank Cifaldi and said that. And then Frank said, "You're misunderstanding. These are games that are submitted to WADA, and WADA pays me for my expertise to evaluate them. Busting the bootlegs is literally my job here." Which was like, he quote tweeted the guy that said, "Wow, you're all fucking idiots." Meanwhile, this guy's trying to fix what WADA has been doing. Yeah. So I just think it's like RGT that's kicked open the door just to like Nelson. Anyway, so that's it. Surprise, video games. This whole video game boom is not real.
Yeah, something rotten in Denmark.
I suggest you watch this video, exposing fraud and deception in the retro video game market. I will watch it later, but we got to pretty much the gist of it. I need to read all these notifications that have been happening that I forgot to read at the top of the show. Oh my god, Nucker, thank you for the 12 months. Looking swole AF, boys. No,
I'm just fat.
Someone else here? Satorugo JC, tell me how to pronounce that. Gave us like 1 billion gift subs. Gave us like 5. Another 5, 10, 10, and 5, and 3. Somebody do the math. Thank you. Thank you, Satoru Go JC, for all those gift subs. There's a sub goal that Tristan made me do. Where if I get to 750 subs, I will do an art stream. Remember, like I used to do on twitch.tv/BobWolf, but I'll do it on the main Wolf Den channel. Anyway, Spoopy Girl also gifted a bunch of subs. Like 10? 15? Thank you. I appreciate you. Crit Skit with 3 months. Can I try your elongated cookie, Bob? No, not when you put it like that. You can't. Get away from me. Get out of here. Spoopy Girl with 300 bits. GCXC Luke with 8 months. Thanks, Wolf Bros. I don't know what we did, but thank you.
You're welcome.
The Real Waggo with 3 months. Hey, it's been a while since I caught a live show. Bob, did you finish Ocarina of Time yet? Nope. I only got to the 3rd playthrough, I think.
How far is that?
I beat the Zora thing. Jabu. I did that.
Okay.
As little Link. So I don't know what that means. I don't know how far I have to go. Spoopy Girl with another 200. 200. Thank you for adding some ghost emoji, crying, laughing, smiley face to my day. You can't talk to me in emojis. It's like some Gen X. What is that? Gen Z shit?
Gen Z, yeah.
Come on, dude. Does Gen Z not like emotes or emojis? Is that like not?
No, I thought that's all they spoke in.
They don't like GIF reactions. I know that.
Oh, they can eat my foot. That's all I do is send GIF reactions. I know. Kids, I hate kids.
Rockin' Val with 14 months. Hello, hope everyone is well. Thank you, Rockin' Val. Spoopy Girl with another hundo. Saturo JC, 5 hundo bits. Love you guys. Well, I love you. Thank you very much. Picky Gamer with 12 months and Mecha Dragon with 1 bit. I gotta see that art stream. Dang it. Subscribe. All right. We got through everything.
Yes.
Now we can talk about whatever's next.
The Terminator is coming to Smash Brothers. It's confirmed.
This is stupid. This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Well, I've seen dumber speculation based on a random tweet.
Mm-hmm.
So no, the Terminator is not coming to Smash. However, Super Smash Bros. Series director Masahiro Sakurai is still busy sharing excellent screenshots from Smash Ultimate on Twitter, and while his tweets are always on the more popular end of the scale, his latest effort is really doing some numbers. Oh. Why is that? Well, earlier this morning, Sakurai shared a new image that appears to show Ken taking an unfortunate turn for the worse in a lava pool. The telltale sign is a single thumb sticking out of the fire, a neat reference to the ending of the 1991 action movie Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Check it out. And yes, Gen Z, I can confirm this is a reference to Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
There it is.
The most likely.
Oh my god, it looks exactly like the chain and everything. Looks exactly the same.
Yeah. I mean, just hand-given thumbs up out of lava. That's obviously T2, but like the fact that the chain's there, that's like the nice added bonus to it. Because that's how he lowered himself in. Now, the most likely explanation for the tweet is that, just like the rest of Sakurai's screen grabs, the staged image is simply a reference to another well-known piece of popular culture. That won't stop Smash fans from starting up the old speculation engine, though, and while you'll find a few jokes about Terminator appearing as the final DLC character for Smash in the replies, things have also started to go a bit further. You see, it turns out that several popular games have also referenced this particular scene in recent years. The result is a rather humorous string of replies in which fans ponder the possibility of an upcoming DLC cameo for a number of different games, seemingly missing the fact that all of them, including this new screenshot, are a reference to something else entirely. Could it be that Doom is finally getting some Smash representation? And you can see somebody tweeted the Doom 2016 reference to the Terminator thumbs up. How about Among Us? And apparently Among Us also references the Terminator 2 thumbs up. And of course, Fortnite, because Fortnite references everything.
The Fortnite one looks like the most like freaking
well, because I think the Fortnite, they actually have like the Terminator in the game.
Right.
Like I think
right.
you can play as the Terminator and Sarah Connor, because of course you fucking can. All joking aside, we can understand why some fans might be thinking there's a hint buried in Sakurai's suit somewhere. He did, after all, once appear on screen performing a unique hand gesture that turned out to be a tease for an upcoming Fire Emblem Three Houses cameo.
No. This means nothing. This means absolutely nothing.
It doesn't. I know it doesn't.
We're not getting Terminator. We're not getting any of these fucking things. It's so stupid. I can't believe that all of these people didn't know the Terminator was the first one to do that.
I mean, I hope they knew that. I especially hope the person who posted the Fortnite reference knew that.
Fortnite reference, Fortnite's in Smash. What a fucking idiot. Although his icon is his @ is Steve Blockman and his icon is Minecraft Steve, so maybe he's a troll.
Probably.
On the Among Us one, I feel like that's like a troll thing anyway. Like Among Us is everywhere. Like so like that kind of makes sense.
But yeah, Doom 2016, I guarantee there's a good chance this person did not know that that's a reference to Terminator 2.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think you do. That's freaking wild. Anyway. So yeah, no, we still don't. Do we know when we're getting? We don't know when we're getting DLC.
No, they didn't say when.
I think there's no way they're gonna live up to any expectations with this new Smash DLC.
Absolutely not.
I think the only way is if Sakurai himself is the DLC, and I think there's a possibility that's gonna happen. I think he might, because he should be retiring any minute now.
Yeah, there was an article that says like I thought about retiring from gaming many times.
Yeah. I hope it's something wacky like that, because if it's a character, there's no character that I can think of that will make it worth it for anybody. Maybe Master Hand, like I don't see it happening. Anyway, more notifications. Breno F with the 4 months. Thank you, bros, for the content. Love from Brazil. To the bomb. It's the only thing I know how to say. Saturo, thank you for the bit. I'm going to pronounce your name wrong every single time. How many subs until goal? It says it on the under will. It says the amount of subs we have. Swoopy Girl, thank you for the 300 bits. Thank you both for being so effing awesome and helping me laugh my ass off. Cheer, cheer, cheer. Thank you for the 300 bits.
Thank you
Swoopy Girl.
for finding us funny.
Yes. Yeah, doing something our mother never would have thought someone would say about us.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna do it in the next year. Yes. Don't just gift all of the subs for the sub goal. Give other people a chance to sub to it. We want to spread it a little bit. Don't put all the weight on your shoulders. You know what I mean? Anyway, next. Halo Infinite's launching without co-op.
Or the Forge. Oh no. 343 Industries has announced that it is delaying the campaign co-op and Forge for Halo Infinite until after launch, as the developers focus on getting the single-player campaign and multiplayer done in time for its holiday release. In an August video update from the official Halo YouTube channel, Halo Infinite head of creative Joseph Staten confirmed that neither campaign co-op nor Forge will be in Halo Infinite at launch. 343 confirmed that Halo Infinite is 100% committed to release the anticipated shooter this holiday. Campaign co-op has been a fixture of the Halo franchise, being able to play through the single-player campaign with a friend. Meanwhile, the Forge is a unique experience where players can design their own game modes by creating custom maps, rules, and more. Forge is where some of the most creative player-generated modes have come from, some of which have gone on to become official Halo online modes. Unfortunately, as we focus the team for shutdown and really focused on a quality experience for launch, we made the really tough decision to delay shipping campaign co-op for launch. We also made the tough call to delay shipping Forge past launch as well. Staten said during the video update, Staten confirmed that the team is taking a seasonal release schedule for the campaign co-op and Forge, while Halo Infinite will launch with single and multiplayer modes. Staten says that the team is aiming to release campaign co-op for Season 2 of multiplayer and the Forge for Season 3. Staten clarified that the new season will ship every 3 months, meaning campaign co-op will not release until 2022, most likely, assuming the holiday season begins in November. Halo Infinite, for the record, does not have a confirmed release date. Just holiday 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
and the rest of the article is just like, we promise we're working on it.
Mumbling Gamer in the chat says, why not just delay it?
Well, Halo Infinite is doing like, they're basically releasing their single and their multiplayer parts separately. I mean, it'll be in one package, but they're treating them as two separate things because the multiplayer will be free to play.
Right.
And the single player will be, the full price and whatnot. And I mean, Halo Online is the type of game where like you can like roll things out over the course of seasons or whatnot.
Well, the multiplayer they should work on for a long time. The multiplayer is a big staple for Halo, and it's what a lot of people buy the game for. So that being free to play is awesome, and being able to support that going forward and change it up every once in a while is great. So yeah, that's going to be its own thing. And then we're going to have the single player, which is probably a huge pain in the ass to be working on right now, which is also a big staple for Halo.
Halo's one of the few first-person shooters where single and multiplayer are equally important to an equal amount of people. So the fact that they're focusing on those two for launch, I think makes most sense. And I don't really know how many people like are clamoring for campaign co-op right out the gate. I feel like people are willing to wait on that.
Right. So I thought I was making a hot take on Twitter, and nobody disagreed with me. When the news broke that the campaign co-op was going to be delayed and the Forge was going to be delayed, and the fact there's no release date, you would think just delay the game, but they already delayed the game. And I said the absence of Halo Infinite is what's keeping mainstream consumers from wanting an Xbox Series X. I will always be for releasing a game when it's ready, but there's a lot riding on this one. So like, I think that if the Xbox Series X launched with Halo, it would be a much bigger deal to people than it is right now.
Right.
Because the PlayStation 5, that's the one people think of having all of the exclusives, even though it has no fucking exclusives right now. There's nothing. There's Demon Souls. Wow.
There's Returnal.
Mainstream people don't want to play either of those games because those games are hard. And they're not for mainstream people. They're for diehards and people who play a lot of games. Halo's for the casual, and there's people who would put their whole purchasing decision on just getting Halo. I just burped. Wow. So the fact that Halo is delayed is stopping people from buying Xboxes. And you could say, oh, it's going to be on PC. Mainstream people don't know that and don't care and don't have a game on PC. They're trying to decide their purchasing decision off of what games are going to be on what. So this holiday, Halo needs to come out, or else you're not going to be selling any Xboxes. I mean, these new consoles are selling enough, but Microsoft has to pick up the pace if they even care about the console war at all, which they might not. But
it is concerning though, because we're at the end of August, and holiday 2021 generally means from October to the end of November. But you would think if a game's coming out in that window, they would have shown a lot more than they have already,
right? For
Halo Infinite, and they really haven't. They've shown very little, if anything, of the single player. They had the multiplayer beta and whatnot, but there's still a lot we don't know about this game. There's still a lot we haven't seen about this game. And I understand like announcing the delay of campaign co-op and Forge. That's not an issue. The issue is everything else that we haven't been seeing. Like we haven't even gotten like an updated trailer, and the game could possibly come out in like 3 months.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really not looking good for this game, and
Yeah.
it's unfortunate. It could come out and suck, which would be the worst case scenario. They should definitely delay the game if it's going to come out and suck. But I mean, we don't know.
Especially because like the reception to the last few Halo games have been lukewarm at best. I mean, Halo 4, didn't really set the world on fire. People do not like Halo 5 at all, especially the single player campaign. The Master Chief Collection took years to get to a state where everybody agrees that it's a good game, not let alone a great game. And that's a re-release of like 5 different Halo games. No, I'm sorry. It's a re-release of 4 different Halo games. Then when they finally fixed the fucking thing, they released ODST and Reach as part of the package. But because some Wolf Brothers got it when it was the 4-pack, I now have to go and buy the other 2 as DLC.
Oh, those games kind of sucked anyway, right?
I know. And it's only like, they're always on sale for like $2, so it's not going to cost me an arm and a leg. But still, the point remains, I'm angry.
Don't we own them for 360?
Yes. But, I mean, you think about it, if I had them in the Master Chief Collection, then I have them in all-in-one convenient package. I don't have to go fumbling for discs and shit.
Willow says, y'all got Game Pass? I do. Apparently Will doesn't for some reason.
I don't
understand.
I'm not playing as many games as like I feel like would warrant spending $15 a month.
True.
And like the games I do want to play like aren't on Game Pass right now.
True.
So.
I mean, what was I talking about? If the game comes out and it sucks, I remember so when they first showed footage of the gameplay of Halo Infinite, it came out the footage and everybody was like, this looks like shit. Like this is not cool, and it looks like a freaking Xbox 360 game. I don't understand. And that actually, I think, caused the delay in the first place. They probably thought they had something good, and then everyone's like, "This does not look good." And then and then they were like, "Well, we got to fix basically everything," and they went back to the drawing board, which I think was probably a great move. And it like. I remember I always go back to when Mass Effect Andromeda came out. I remember I got a preview of it and I played it and I was like, this is awesome. This is great. I'm not even a Mass Effect guy, but I think this is great. And then the game came out and, or it was like a day before the game came out or a few days before the game came out, and people saw those weird facial animations. And ever since then, everybody hated that fucking game. So I feel like you really don't know what's going to happen until you release the game and people get their hands on it and rip it apart to find all the flaws in it. So it took Halo releasing that trailer for everybody to realize maybe this isn't in the state that it should be when it launches. So the game needs to launch this holiday. And if it does and it sucks, that would also be a very bad scenario. It's not looking good. There's very little wiggle room for this game to end up being awesome.
Yeah. I mean, they really got to pull out all the stops for this, especially, there is a lot riding on this game. The past few Halo games have been rough. There's an entire system that basically needs this game to do good in order for it to, be competitive in the current gaming market. It's just, I don't know. If this game does not do well, there's going to be like a definite revamping of 343 Industries, like without question, because they're not going to get rid of Halo. They're going to try to figure out what went wrong with the company.
Right. I mean, this is all they have. This is all they need to do. There's potential that the game comes out and it sucks and nobody likes it, but the multiplayer is good. There's potential that happens. Which would, I think, be fine. I think that would be it's a free-to-play multiplayer. I think that would be fine. But is there a market today for team-based multiplayer shooters like that?
I think there is. I think, especially because it's Halo, that name carries a prestige to it. People, grew up with it, recognize it, might want to go back into playing that game because it's their comfort food. I think, they'll have to definitely try and get, younger gamers to come on, because people are used to like Call of Duty and Fortnite and games like that. But I think because something similar happened with the Doom 2016. No, that wasn't like all the other shooters that were coming out at the time. Nobody really knew what to make of it, but gradually people started to understand what it was, and it grew to become, one of the best games of the generation. Right. So I think it's possible, but they got to really like show us that this is worth the $70 that it's going to be worth.
It's hard because it's a prestigious game. Everybody knows Halo. Everybody loves it for the multiplayer or whatever. But eventually, you got to change things up a little bit, and it's the same with any form of media. You have to make the same thing but better, and change it slightly for modern audiences. And if you change the wrong thing slightly, it sucks. Yeah. If you change it the right way, it's good and everybody loves it. So it's a really hard balance. The thing that they changed in the single player is they added a grappling hook. Is that going to make things like awesome all of a sudden? Who knows? So there's a lot riding on this thing, and it seems like a really tough situation to be in for Microsoft and for 343.
I mean, I think Microsoft knows this because they allowed the game to be delayed once.
Yeah, by a whole year.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to let that happen again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've at this point, I mean, they've kind of given up on having that be their killer app. Their killer app now is Game Pass, which is fine. But if they delay it again, then they really got to ride on Game Pass for the holiday season.
Yeah.
But it's not like PlayStation's got a killer app this holiday, do they? What do they got coming out this holiday?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think they do. Shit. Or Ratchet and Clank. That came out already.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they do.
Anyway.
Chat, correct us.
Jin Wong, thank you for the 14 months. Finally got my Prime back so I can show my love for your channel. LOL. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Did you know, Will, that if you subscribe here on Twitch, even if you use your Amazon Prime free subscription, that's right, if you have Amazon Prime, you link it to your Twitch account, you get a free subscription here. If you subscribe, you don't get any ads. You know how you have to watch an ad before you...
Ads are the worst.
When you click on the stream and you have to watch an ad, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to watch the ad. Will your audio and camera look and sound great this week, says Lou the Lunatic.
Yeah, buddy. Don't know what I did, but it's working.
Yeah, nobody says anything about any PlayStation games coming out.
Yeah.
Nathan, thank you for gifting a sub to Anthony Lockwood.
The Great Fat Boy says Horizon Zero delay.
Is Horizon Zero Dawn supposed to come out?
I don't think it's supposed to come out this year. And I remember when, because they also announced that game for PS4, and people were mad. It's like, oh, why did I buy a PS5 then?
Q3 or Q4 of 2021. So,
okay.
Q4 is that fiscal year, or is that? Was that delayed?
I don't know. I mean, it might have been delayed. I feel like that's a game that. But Horizon's Forbidden West. Like, Horizon is not exactly like God of War, The Last of Us, or Uncharted or anything like that. I feel like they can delay that game.
It says to be confirmed, so who knows?
Okay.
Oh, it's a rumor that it's going to be delayed. I mean, they'll probably be delayed. These games get delayed all the time. But yeah, that's not a big deal. Those games, when they even come out in like March and shit, they do great. So
yeah.
Deathloop is a PlayStation exclusive. Well, that won't last very long. That exclusivity, exclusivity is not going to last very long.
Yeah.
And also that Microsoft still wins in that. If that game sells good, Microsoft still wins.
Yeah.
Because it's a fucking Microsoft game.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, Thrill House, thank you for the 3 months. Will, explain to me why Sony, there's a new PS5 model?
Don't get your hopes up. Press Start, an Australian-based gaming site, reports that a revised PS5 models include a new screw for the base stand that no longer requires a screwdriver.
Sony
reportedly swapped in a new screw with a grip around the top so it can be easily adjusted by hand. Press Start also reports that these updated PS5 models are around 300 grams or 0.6 pounds lighter than the original, but it's not clear what Sony has removed or changed to bring the weight down. The new PS5 ships with a CFI-1102A model number instead of the CFI-1-100 found on the original. And there you see a picture of the two different screws.
So here's my base.
Mm-hmm.
It's so stupid. I hate this thing. So in order to lay it flat, you need the base like this. And you're supposed to have it to stand it up, but you don't really need it to stand it up. But in order to stand it up, you have to transform the base. You have to rotate it like this so that it hooks. Oh, wait, no. What am I doing? Oh, it won't rotate because I have the screw in it still. The screw stays in the bottom like this. But yeah, you kind of need a screwdriver or something. Get the fuck out of here. So you need a screwdriver or something to screw it in because it's like a flathead. Yeah, so this is what what am I even talking about right now? I think this is flat. Yeah, this is flat mode. I didn't even have it in the correct mode. That's flat mode, and this is standing up because the PlayStation is like long ways on here. Yeah. And then in order to stand it up, you need to put the screw in so that this stays. But if you want to lay it flat, there's no way to screw it in or anything. It just kind of sits there and slides around and stuff. It's not a great design.
Yeah, the PS5 is very stupid looking.
So basically the big story here is that the screw now doesn't need a
screw is different. The screw is different.
And it's lighter for some reason and no one knows why.
Yeah. I saw somewhere that they might have fixed the Wi-Fi card in it, but I feel like the real story here is the screw.
The Wi-Fi card? Was the Wi-Fi card bad?
Apparently the Wi-Fi card was not great.
The Wi-Fi card was bad in the PlayStation 4.
Yes.
And also the original Xbox, but they fixed it.
Yeah.
I mean the Xbox One, the original Xbox One. That thing was a piece of trash anyway. Now I can't rotate it at all. I'm gonna have to buy the new one.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna have to.
Well, they're already in Australia. They're now starting to make their way to Japan, and they also appear to be shipping in some parts of the U.S. as well.
Not only the screw is different, it's a different clamp as well, says this Twitter user.
Oh, so they also changed the stand, Bob. There you go.
Wow. Yeah. So this is what mine looks like at the top. It's got the it's got the weird little like thing that juts out, and this one's just completely flat.
Yeah.
Interesting. What a weird thing of all the things that you could I guess that's easy because it's just it's its own unit that's separate
it's a hunk
from
of plastic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different than the unit itself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got a lot of problems with my PlayStation 5.
I know. My boss asked me what like about the PS5, and I told him you have one, and you also have the Xbox. And he asked me which one you like better. I said the Xbox. I said he fucking hates his PS5.
I really every time I turn it on, I'm like, God, why is this one easy thing so frustrating? I have to remember how to turn it off every time. I have to relearn how to turn it off every time I want to turn it off.
You can't just press the off button?
Oh, silly Will. So to turn off a console, you hold the home button and then you go to and you go off or go to sleep.
Yeah.
No. Not the PS5. You have to press the home button and then go down and then all the way to the right and then go to off and then you go to the thing. You can't holding it doesn't do it.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's every little thing is annoying to me. Oh, the last thing that annoyed me about the PlayStation 5 was that you have to change a setting that's in a weird place in order to unlock 120 frames per second. Like it doesn't just do it.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. Also, the home screen isn't 120 frames; it's only 60. Even the PlayStation, even the Xbox. So the Xbox's home screen was they just updated it to 4K. I think it used to only be 1080p, but even that said 120 frames. You know, it was like reading at 120 frames, but the PS5 one was reading at 60 frames.
Interesting.
Yeah, I could go on.
I mean, home screen is one thing. I mean, who really cares if that's running in 4K 120?
It probably wasn't actually running like the Xbox one probably isn't actually running at 120 frames, but it was reading out at 120 frames. Anyway, I don't want to shit all over the PlayStation 5 anymore than I do every time we have these podcasts. Oh wow, another Skyrim port, yay.
Another Skyrim port. Don't act like you're not going to buy it. Bethesda announced a new edition of fantasy RPG Elder Scrolls V Skyrim on Thursday during QuakeCon.
Everybody get your tickets. QuakeCon.
QuakeCon at Home 2021. Skyrim is about to turn 10, which is a very monumentous anniversary indeed, and the new anniversary edition will have some nice bonuses for players. The anniversary edition will be available on PS4, PS5, Windows PC, Xbox One, and Series X. The anniversary edition contains the full game, all enhancements for the special edition, and the Dawn Guard, Hearthfire, and Dragonborn expansions. The game comes with a free next-gen console upgrade, over 500 Creation Club elements like quests, dungeons, bosses, and weapons. Also, there's fishing now, which is great. Woo! You can argue that Skyrim doesn't need a fishing pole, but it's always nice to have a fishing minigame. The elements from popular mods will likely round the experience out as well. It's a common joke that Skyrim will never die, especially because Bethesda continues to re-release and port the game. The base game came out on less powerful platforms like the Nintendo Switch, and in 2018, Bethesda joked that Skyrim Very Special Edition was which is an actual playable game on iPhone, iPad, and Amazon Echo, as long as you can figure out the voice commands. Elder Scrolls 6 remains elusive, but fans will be able to tuck into Skyrim once again and enjoy all of their old quests, as well as a new spin thanks to fishing.
This game came out on the Xbox 360
and the PS3.
And the PC. It's been 3 console generations, but
much like GTA 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say GTA 5 did the same thing, but Grand Theft Auto, Elder Scrolls on a lot more platforms.
Yes.
Grand Theft Auto haven't been porting it too much. But anyway, it's Skyrim was in the Nintendo Switch announcement trailer.
Yes. Yeah. And people like that version of it.
I gotta say, I'm not into RPGs or anything. Skyrim's pretty sweet. Skyrim's pretty good. Yeah, I actually kind of like Skyrim when I played it way after it came. I played it like a long time after it came out, and I actually liked it a lot.
Maybe I'll finally check it out.
Oh yeah, we own it on 360, I think.
True. I don't know if that's backwards compatible though.
Well, you can't just freaking download the stupid thing.
No, I think you have to.
I have it on Steam because I wanted the mods.
Don't you have it on PS4 also?
Probably.
I don't know. I'll just borrow that.
How do I have it so many times? I barely played this game.
Wasn't it when you were working out on what's that?
You almost just called it Shitty Cast.
I did not. I was calling it Shoddy Cast, but I wasn't sure if that was right.
Shoddy Cast. It was Shoddy Cast.
I don't.
And yes, well, I had the 360 version already because I just had it at GameStop. I just acquired it somehow. Then I got it on PS4 because I got some deal on it, and I was like, well, I need it anyway for this channel. And then I realized, fuck, I need the PC version in order to do all these things that I want to do to capture footage and stuff. So I got the PC version. So that's somehow I ended up supporting this game way too much. I don't think anybody who's played it before needs to get this version. Unless you really were missing out on fishing. Unless you really wanted fishing in the game.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, if this is the type of game that you replay every so often, now might be a time to jump back in. But if you're the type of person who plays the game once and then moves on, move on.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think this is it. It's gonna be a long time to the next Skyrim though. So
yeah.
Anyway, Exoset 10 US with the 2 months. Hello from Houston again. Hey Will, good to see you again. Hi Bob, still watching religiously. Hello, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Okay, next Quake is back, baby.
Yeah. Also announced at QuakeCon. What was I looking for? QuakeCon, the annual convention for the legendary first-person shooter, was canceled last year during the pandemic, but it's back today with a nail gun-like bang. Machine Games and id Software have teamed up to create a visually enhanced version of the original Quake game after June 22nd marked the 25th anniversary of the game's release. It's the classic Quake run-and-gun combat through medieval mazes with nail guns, grenade launchers, and shotguns, but it's all in 4K with widescreen support, online multiplayer, and even new expansion packs. The original version of Quake is now available on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch, complete with up to 4K support, widescreen resolution, enhanced models, dynamic lighting, anti-aliasing, depth of field, and lots more visual enhancements.
Yo, this looks good.
I know. I'm kind of mad I haven't bought it already. Both the original Quake expansion packs also available, as well as 2 expansions developed by Machine Games. A 4-player online mode for campaign is available, or local split-screen co-op. There's even 8-player multiplayer matches with cross-play support, or 4-player split-screen local ones. Quake will also include support for fan-made mods and missions, including Quake 64.
Oh?
And it's available right now for $10, and it's a part of Game Pass.
Yo, there's like particle effects and stuff.
Yeah.
I think Modern Vintage Gamer worked on this.
He did.
How does that man have time to be a game developer and make YouTube videos? It doesn't make any sense to me. I can't wrap my head around that. I could barely make YouTube videos. Yeah, no, this is freaking awesome. How much is this thing?
$10.
$10. Wait, is
$10.
Is it not for Switch?
It's for Switch. So it's for Xbox consoles, PlayStation, PC, and Switch. And it's $10. And it's also included with Game Pass.
Oh, so the next gen update is coming soon. So there is no so it's not for Series X or PS5. You could play it on it, but it's not gonna have the update. Even though, like, I mean, what do you need? I guess that's for 4K.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this looks great as it is. What resolution is this trailer? This trailer goes up to 4K.
Yeah, there you go.
Crazy. Is that friggin' multiplayer? That's multiplayer.
Do you listen to me when I read?
No. I try to provide the visual content while you do that. Well,
it includes 4-player online mode. 4-player online campaign, and also split screen co-op. 8-player multiplayer matches with cross-play support, and 4-player split-screen local multiplayer.
This is freaking cool.
And it includes support for fan-made mods and missions, including scenarios from Quake 64, which is apparently different. And includes all the different expansion packs that were originally released, including the expansion pack that Machine Games, the creators of Wolfenstein: The New Order, the expansion pack they made after The New Order came out.
It's been a hot minute since I played the original Quake.
Yeah, same.
I used to play a little bit of Arena. We used to play it. We had Quake. We had Quake when it came out.
We had the original Quake, and we played a lot of the original Quake, and we had Quake 3 Arena, and we had Quake 4 for some reason.
I did not like Quake 4, I don't think.
Yeah, nobody liked Quake 4.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be picking this up, but it looks freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sea Soul, thank you for the 11 months. Sir Albs, thank you for the Prime subscription. Anyway, let's keep it moving here with Simpsons Hit and Run fan remade the game in a week using the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
How could this be good?
I don't know. Let's find out. Although it has some issues, Simpsons Hit and Run has gone down as something of a classic since it was released almost 20 years ago. I'm fucking old. The game took the GTA template and added America's most dysfunctional family, creating a fun romp, which was a solid adventure on the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube, selling over 3 million copies worldwide. Despite obvious desire for a remake or sequel and interest from show co-runner Matt Selman, it doesn't look like we'll be getting a new installment anytime soon. Selman said that it's a complicated corporate octopus to try and make that happen, apparently. That's why modder Rebus decided to take matters into his own hands and recreate the entire game using Unreal Engine 5 with impressive results. Using a tool created by another developer, Lucas Cardinelli, Rebus exported the map of Springfield from the original game into Unreal Engine, then using a combination of AI and manual effort to add textures. He even went as far as to add ray tracing and ripped audio from the original so the characters could speak. Then he got down to programming in all of the gameplay elements, such as collectible items, and finally pulling together the opening segment of the original game in a playable demo. So impressive was this feat that Joe McGinn, who was the lead on Simpsons Hit and Run, posted Rebus's YouTube account to say how much he loved the demo. He says, "Hi, I'm the lead designer on the original game. Amazing what you accomplished. Really gives a taste of what a full modern remaster could be. Impressive work." Unfortunately, it looks like Disney's lawyers got in touch with Rebus, and he has removed the demo from his site. However, the reaction from the general public might hopefully convince the people in charge to pull some strings and make a remaster happen, because there's clearly plenty of demand. We might see more fan-made takes on this, however, as it's been revealed that the source code has been leaked online.
This does look really good. I was like, you made it that whole map in a week, and that doesn't make any sense. But he imported the whole map. Yeah. That makes a lot more sense. I wonder, like, I mean, that's how they make remasters, right? They just port the whole thing and then make it look nice. I mean, sometimes they do it from the ground up, but
it depends. If you have the source code for it, makes it a lot easier, because then you can, build on that. Mm-hmm. That's why Tony Hawk 1 and 2 was so good, because it built on the original code. But then you have situations like the Silent Hill HD collection, which was using source code from an alpha build, because Konami didn't save the final Gold Master. So they had to go back and add in a lot of things that weren't in the alpha build, and they didn't do it in time, so that's why that remaster was shit. But this looks like it was, from the full final version of the game.
Right. I mean, this does look really good. I keep trying to think, like, there's got to be some bugs and stuff, but it looks like he's got most of it figured out.
I mean, I'm sure the demo was pretty buggy, and it was only a portion of the game, like it wasn't the full thing, but I would play a full version of this.
It looks like they could just take this and fix it up and make it an actual release. That's what this looks like.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely wild. When Simpsons Hit and Run was out, I never knew that it was like a big deal to people.
Yeah, I remember when it came out and like reading reviews and stuff, and people were saying like it was actually good. I was flabbergasted, because the only good Simpsons game was the arcade game. Mm-hmm. And they released like a couple of games for that generation, and they were all bad. And then all of a sudden this came out and was really good. And when I played it, I saw like it actually was pretty good. Mm-hmm. It was funny, it was interesting, it felt like an episode of The Simpsons. a good episode of The Simpsons. There's one part in the game because you can call, it's not just you find cars and you drive. You can also call on, like if you're playing as Bart and Lisa, you can call on Homer or Marge to drive you. And if you try to get in the car on the driver's side while Homer's driving, he'll just whisper to you, "That's the wrong side." And I still say that to this day in that voice, the whisper, "That's the wrong side."
It's one of those stupid little quotes that just never leaves your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd imagine if you do enough Googling, you might be able to find this, how to do this or how to get this. I mean,
yeah.
Anyway, Rosa Sabe, thank you for the 28 months, and Mumbling Gamer, thank you for the 2 gift subs. We're plowing through a lot of news right now. There's a lot of news to cover right now.
Well, this next one I can do real quick one too, because it's not a lot to talk about.
Okay.
Well, there is, but I can sum it up real quick.
Go for it.
So 2K Games has announced finally WWE 2K22. They've showed it off at this weekend's SummerSlam event. It's going to launch in March of 2022. And promises that the next installment of the wrestling franchise will hit different. The tagline is "It hits different," and will be crowd popping, chill inducing, and have been redefined from the ground up. If you remember, 2K20, WWE 2K20 was notoriously bad, unfinished, very buggy, one of the worst reviewed games of that year. So they didn't put out a 2K21 WWE game. It's just so they could focus on this, and to make sure they get it right, they've delayed it even further to March of 2022. And the reason why the tagline is "It hits different" is because hopefully it'll be a finished game. Now, it's not just that they're trying to make a good game is the reason why it's coming out in 2022 instead of this year. Part of the problem, according to an article from Sports Gamers Online, as told by WrestleTalk.tv, the relationship between WWE and 2K Games is seriously strained. Reports state that WWE wanted 2K22 to come out during the normal November release window, like around Survivor Series for the Christmas market, while 2K pushed for the delay. 2K alleged that 2K is allegedly blaming WWE as part for the delay because they've been releasing an alarming amount of talent, and if they released it in November, the game would have had an outdated roster. So if they released it in November, you would have seen a whole bunch of wrestlers who have been fired for well over a year appearing in the game.
And like that's the whole reason that they're updating the game. It's not like you know these games are that different year to year. It's the roster people are getting it for.
I'll also add that the report goes on to say that the two parties have had a number of meetings and that WWE is threatening to find a new publisher, and that WWE has made it known, almost annoyingly so, how much this game means to the future of the franchise.
I'd imagine that the game makes them like is a big part of their paycheck, like a big part of what makes WWE.
It's a big moneymaker for them.
Yeah,
it's especially ever since they've gone with a yearly release cycle for it. It's been a big moneymaker for them. And you know, even when it was being made by THQ and now especially 2K, it gets treated like any other sports game, like NBA or Madden or whatnot. And those are always big money games. But they also cost a lot of money to make because they're trying to get like everything right and under the wire. And especially because this game has to prove that it's better than 2K20, which isn't that hard to do, but they could still screw it up. I can understand like why 2K delayed the game, but WWE I think needs to understand that video games are not easy to make.
I can't imagine any other big publisher wanting this contract.
Yeah.
I mean EA probably. But
yeah, EA probably would,
but they seem like a massive pain in the ass to deal with. And that, I mean, it's probably going to make a lot of money, but like you got to deal with them. It's going to be a lot of work, and it's probably not going to look good for your company because it's going to come out like shit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure a company like 2K could take the hit, but if like THQ obviously couldn't. And I don't know if there's any other maybe EA that would want to take the hit.
I don't understand wrestling video games. I don't. To me, it's like you're playing as a person pretending to fight somebody, and the mechanics are as such that they don't make any sense.
Well, okay, So when people think of wrestling games, they always think of the ones on the Nintendo 64. WCW vs. NWO Revenge, WrestleMania 2000, No Mercy, those games.
Right.
Those games treated it like an arcade-style game where it was very simple. You had your punches, your kicks, your grapples, and it was easy to do everything. Since then, though, the games have been developed by a different developer, and they've been gone for more sim-based type of gameplay where you actually have to know moves and holds and how to do things and button combinations and whatnot. And it slows everything down to a grind. And I don't understand why they've kept that base going for 20 years instead of something fun like, with Def Jam Fight for New York was.
That's what I'm talking about. It's incredibly frustrating to try to do anything. Everything's really slow, and like you'll do something, feel like you're gonna do a lot of damage, and you really don't, or you'll just dumb shit like that. And like Def Jam is like a fighting game, like that. Yeah, like I want that. If I want these big like buff dudes and these characters that I really like to fight each other, I want it to be a fighting game. I don't want to have to be like, oh, let me pretend to kick you. It's like that's what I see on the screen, but when I want to play it, I want to play it like it's supposed to be, like it's a fantasy world.
Well, how do I put this? A good wrestling game should be able to make you forget that you're emulating an already fake sport.
Right.
And the problem is most of the modern games don't do that. They make you actually go through the motions of like doing the choreography. And that's not fun. You want to be in the zone. You want it to feel like, as they say in the industry, a shoot. You want it to feel real. And they haven't felt real since No Mercy. I'm hoping, because AEW, WWE's biggest competitor, is also making a wrestling game, but they're doing it in-house. They're not going out. I mean, they got another developer to help them. But they're financing the whole thing. They're not going through EA or Take-Two or Activision or whatever. And they actually brought in a lot of the team who worked on No Mercy on the N64. People who know how to do more arcadey style wrestling games. So hopefully, much like how AEW is a great alternative to WWE, their video game can be the great alternative to the 2K WWE games that we've been getting for the past few years.
Yeah, I mean, well, that'll show. AEW is doing a lot to show up WWE right now.
Yeah, and they're great at it.
Yeah, and I think that they need that. WWE is like the big name in wrestling, and they need to be shaken up a little bit.
They need to be shaken up a lot, but the problem is they're doing the most batshit stupid things I've ever seen a wrestling company do. Like they repeat the same match every week. Like nobody fights anybody else. It's just the same matches repeated every week. Their pay-per-views have been lackluster for years now. It's just they have competition, but they're still acting like they don't.
I my friends that are wrestling fans, I've never heard them say that, wow, that was a good pay-per-view. I've never heard them say that. They're always disappointed every single time.
There's like maybe a good match or two, and then it's just you got to deal with all this other crap.
Yeah. Anyway,
So
well, I kind of hope that they drop 2K, and I kind of hope that that they can't find anybody else, or that the AEW game comes out and it's fucking awesome and it really shows them up. That's what I hope.
Yeah.
Anyway, where am I? Mako. Oh, Rosa Sabe, thank you for the 28 months. Mako Fox, thank you for the 30 bits. Hey, Wolf Bros. I don't know if you saw the Carl Jobst video on the absurd prices of retro video games, but he basically exposed the current connection between Iwata Games and Heritage Auctions. It's a must watch. Is that what we talked about earlier?
That's what you put in your watch later.
Okay, so we haven't watched the video, but we talked about it at the very top of the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for the 30 bits. Gamescom happened. Xbox had a thing. I had no idea.
had a thing. Yeah,
I don't think anything happened at this thing.
Nothing exciting.
Oh, I know. So one thing that happened.
We talked about how they haven't showed us anything new of Halo Infinite, and a spoiler alert, they didn't do it here. I think that was a big disappointment for a lot of people because this would have been the place to show something, and they didn't. Instead, they showed us Forza Horizon 5 unveils new gameplay and the cover cars. So we got to see what cars are going to be on the cover.
Cool.
A Mercedes AMG 1 and a 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands. Also, a custom Forza Horizon 5 Xbox wireless controller.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun.
I pulled this up. Oh, don't play, please. I pulled this up. I mean, all right. Not having the color scheme. I don't know what the orange is all about, but the fact that it's a transparent case is freaking awesome. And
that's
that there's
exciting.
There's like some paint on it. Like that's freaking cool. It's a really cool custom controller. I just wish that wasn't like orange and pink and blue. It's like a weird color combination. But yo, give me an atomic purple friggin'
I will
Xbox
buy
controller.
an atomic. Yeah.
Put that shit
More
in the color
atomic
lab.
purple.
That'd be sick. Yeah, I like this. I like the direction they're going in with this control. Xbox always has great controllers. Anyway.
Yeah. Age of Empires 4 unveils hands-on history feature. This series of 28 unlockable videos was filmed on location with experts around the world and gives players a deeper look into the ways people lived, fought, and ruled in the past. Fans got their exclusive first look at one of the videos highlighting everyone's favorite medieval weapon, the trebuchet. Literally in the middle of this presentation, they just showed you how a trebuchet works.
Awesome.
This might actually be the biggest news to come out of this conference. Cloud gaming is coming to Xbox Series X, S, and Xbox One consoles.
Was it not?
It was not. It was only on PC and mobile.
It's a little too confusing. They're all Game Pass, cloud streaming, that whole nonsense is a little confusing.
Hopefully now that it's on actual Xbox consoles, it becomes a lot easier to understand and a lot easier for people who have Game Pass and want to play a game and don't want to look to see if they have the right platform for it. Hopefully this will help out and make it just that much more accessible.
This kind of future proofs everybody, really. If your game's going to be on cloud streaming, I mean, most of the Xbox first party library is probably going to be on cloud streaming. If you have an Xbox One, you're good to play all the new cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I think this is kind of the future that we were talking about, how you could be able to play everything through streaming. So that's great news. This is great. I don't know how much people are going to utilize this, but it's good.
Microsoft Flight Simulator celebrates Gamescom with major updates. Basically, available September 7th. You will get to fly in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland.
I want to play this game. It looks really cool. It looks ridiculous.
It does. Cause mischief on the Sea of Thieves and earn the Mayhem ship set inspired by Gearbox software. or don't.
I'm not for Sea of Thieves. I mean, I heard it got a lot better, but I played it when it came out, and I wasn't for it.
Yeah. Return to Trumbull Valley with the State of Decay 2 Homecoming update. Basically, they showed off the original map of the first State of Decay is coming to State of Decay 2. Available September 1st, and a whole bunch of other stuff for State of Decay 2. Is that game out? It's acting like the game is out.
Let's see.
I'm looking.
Initial release date, May 2018.
Okay, so they're adding content to State of Decay 2.
It came out for Xbox
game.
Series X last December.
Okay.
I also had no idea this game. Out. I knew State of Decay was a thing. I didn't know the second one's 3 years old already.
There was I didn't know that. What's next? Rangers can take on one final mission in Wasteland 3, Cult of the Holy Detonation. So if you're into Wasteland 3, more Wasteland 3 content. Techland dives deeper into parkour and combat in Dying Light 2. This I don't think is out yet. They showed off more of Dying Light 2, which is Techland's zombie first-person shooter Parkour 'em Up.
Parkour 'em Up.
Dude, it's like Mirror's Edge meets The Walking Dead, and the dude's basically fighting using parkour moves to fight off a bunch of gang members.
So this says release date December 7th. This game has been in development for a long time, and I think has had some problems.
Probably. Crusader Knights 3 conquers the Xbox Series X and S later this year. This was exciting. Humble Games is bringing incredible indies on day one with Xbox Game Pass. Humble Games announced that their lineup of indie games will be launching for Xbox One and Series X and S on day one and available with Game Pass. Gamers across the globe will be able to enjoy the unique stories and experiences being crafted by creative developers from around the world that are a partner with the Humble Games. And there actually look like there were some good games in there.
Good. We like Humble Bundle.
Yes. And lastly, The Gunk.
Oh, The Gunk
reemerges in the lead up to launch this December. The Gunk is the first 3D project from the team that brought you the SteamWorld series, crafting a more cinematic and immersive experience than anything they've done before.
Wow, this does look actually pretty cool. It looks kind of like a Xbox original game just made for modern days. Humble Bundle. What do we got here? Dodgeball Academia. Remember that game?
Yep.
And that's it.
That's Dodgeball Academia, Archvale. Bushiden looks very good. It looks like a Shinobi Ninja Gaiden type side scroller.
Oh.
So I'm down with that.
Wait, I need to see this.
Chinatown Detective Agency, Flynn, Son of Crimson, Midnight Fight Express, Next Space Rebels, and Signalis. This is unpacking
this is a little bit like Strider.
Yeah.
I'm down for this. Yeah. This looks sick. How can I get this game?
It'll be on Game Pass.
Is it? Oh, okay. Is it even? When is it out? Tell me when this game's
out. This will be out later this year.
Okay. I will keep my eye on Bushiden. Everybody remind me about Bushiden. So not much at Gamescom. I mean,
not much.
Do they usually have much?
They do treat Gamescom as a big deal. But like I said, this would have been the perfect place to show off anything, Halo or something, but they didn't.
I think that game companies these days, these big companies, know that they don't need to rely on events anymore. They could just do whatever they want. Like show a little something just to have a presence there, so that people who have their eyes on Gamescom get a little something, so that people like us will talk about it. But they know that their news cycle is whenever the hell they want it to be, and I think that's totally fine.
But I still feel like it's a missed opportunity to not have like one big announcement.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like there was nothing there that was like truly big. True, that's going to be like a water cooler moment. You know, I felt like, you know, I know people gave their E3 presentation crap, but that was definitely better than this.
Right. Anyway, Sleeping Toads TV gave 1 billion gifted subs. Thank you very much.
Jesus.
I appreciate all the gift subs today. I don't know what we did. Maybe we're looking particularly great today.
Yep.
But I appreciate it. I moved up the Pokemon talk. I want to talk about Pokemon.
Okay.
Pokemon, everything announced at Pokemon Presents. We missed this. This was a day after the podcast last week. So I was just going to tell you, really not much. They just they showed some footage, which was great. If you're interested in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and Pokemon Arceus, there's some great new footage out there. Not so much for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Everybody's saying that kind of looks like crap. The trailer was terrible. The trailer for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl was not good. It was weird. But I think the gameplay looks good. But in terms of like news, really, I don't really think they added too much to what we already knew about these games.
Yeah.
But according to Polygon, the Pokemon Company debuted a new Pokemon Presents video presentation on Wednesday, revealing the latest news on upcoming Nintendo Switch games, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Pokemon Legends Arceus. But that's not all, really. Pokemon fans also got updates for the free-to-play mobile game, Pokemon Unite. Yay. 5-year-old mobile game, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Masters EX. I don't know any of this stuff. And puzzle game, Pokemon Cafe Mix. I've actually never played that game. I should play that. Here is the big news
from up your alley.
Here's news for the biggest latest Pokemon Presents, which sadly does not include an update on Pokemon Sleep. I need some help in that department. Pokemon Unite heads to mobile in September, which is good. I might actually play it more if it heads to mobile in September. I'm going to skip this though. Pokemon Cafe Mix is getting remixed. What? Pokemon Cafe Remix. The game will get new puzzle elements, additional Pokemon, and new dress-up options, and Pokemon themselves are finally allowed to eat. Wow. What about Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl? The new Switch remakes of Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl will be both updated and faithful to the original. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl will feature the original's minigames like the Pokemon Super Contest, the Underground with the downsizing minigame, and your secret base. Why is that like duh, they're remaking the game. What do you think, they're going to leave that shit out?
I mean, remakes have left things out before. So it's just nice to know those things are there.
That would have been incredibly disappointing. Anyway, players will also be able to customize your trainer's outfit and even their Pokeballs with collectible stickers that add visual effects to throw animations. That's pretty cool. Launching alongside Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is a new Nintendo Switch Lite console featuring the Pokemon that are the game's Pokemon. It looks like the DS Lite that came out with Pokemon Diamond and Pearl.
I don't think it's a bad design, but it does look reminiscent of that.
So I don't know. I don't like it. I know that it's the DS Lite. I want to say it looks better as a DS Lite, but I think I just don't like the design. I think that nostalgia makes me want to like this because I remember this DS Lite and this was cool, you know?
I think it's because the DS Lite had a glossy finish.
Yes.
And this the Switch has a matte finish.
This has a matte finish, and the silver that they use for these types of like special edition consoles are weird looking. It's like a weird, it's not shiny. It's not like glittery, you know? It's just kind of a little shitty. So that might be why this is better. That's why the DS Lite is better.
Also, too, it's on the back, and the back already has the Switch logo and all the fine print underneath it. So it's already a very busy surface, and now you're just adding more shit to it to make it look even busier.
True. The DS Lite had a lot less going on. It just had the two squares for the DS logo, and that looked pretty cool. And it wasn't printed. The DS logo was raised. It was raised. It looked cool.
Yeah. But even if it was printed, it doesn't look anywhere nearly as busy as the Switchback.
Yeah, I'm not having this. Wait, is it? Did they? So is this border? No, that's just a light effect. It can't be printed like that. On the front, it looks like there's like a printed border.
Oh, I don't know.
I hope that's not.
I
printed.
think it is. Yeah.
Bob, we all know you're getting it. I'm not getting it. I don't give a shit about this. It's not worth the video. I will be getting the game though. I'm not that interested in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, but I will try it out just to see. That'll probably be worth like 2 or 3 streams. I don't know if I'm gonna play too much of it, but Pokemon Legends Arceus, I'm looking very forward to, and there was a lot more footage for that. And Pokemon fans are talking about the trees again. The trees don't look that great.
Oh God.
Game Freak showed off how Pokemon battles will work in Pokemon Legends Arceus. You just run up and beat them with your fists like a man. No, that's not true. A definitive variation on the battles we're all familiar with. When battles begin, players will have a few different style options for battling in a turn-based fashion. Strong or agile styles, which change statistics on specific moves depending on situations. Likewise, some Pokemon may be able to take a few turns in a row based on their statistics. The turn-based mechanics definitely look familiar, but the changes look intriguing. 4 new Pokemon evolutions and variations are coming to the game's new Hisui region. Wiredeer, Hisuian Growlithe, which looks freaking awesome. Hisuian Braviar, and made up names. Made up names. Do they have a Growlithe? Let's see the Growlithe. There he is. Look at that's so cute. This is a fan art, but he looks freaking awesome. So yeah, some people think this looks really good. Some people think it looks like a regular unpolished Pokemon game. I have high hopes for this.
Yeah.
Pokemon Company has been, they've been kind of lazy lately. They've been just knowing that they're going to sell a lot and just kind of throwing stuff out there with not really trying anything new. This looks like they're trying a lot new, and I'm excited to see how different they can make it from a normal Pokemon release. So I'm excited for this. I think, hopefully it's good when it comes out. I'll play a lot of it. I have a whole video on the WULFF DEN Clips channel about me like reacting to that trailer. If you want more detail on that. Anyway, that's it basically for the Pokemon Presents. You watch those trailers if you want, but basically the games are still coming out. You're getting Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl this year and Pokemon Arceus early next year.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not. When I saw one of the top Reddit posts for the past week on the Nintendo subreddit was just a guy saying, I don't like the way Pokemon Legends Arceus looks. And it was like a top upvoted post. So, yeah. And there's another one. Legends Arceus has high potential and could be great. Yeah. Duh. So yeah, it's a little bit of a contentious title, but I think I agree. There's potential. It could be really good. People also don't think that Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, that art style looks good. People think that it looks stupid, the chibi art style. I think it looks
what do you expect? What do you want? Like realistic look rendered Pokemon in like the Quake engine?
I think it looks good. I'm down for it. I just don't know how interested I'm going to be in those games. I've never really wanted to play those games. Black and White, maybe. A lot of people love those games, and those games seem weird and cool and interesting, and I would love to play those games. Anyway, the NES, SNES, the super version of the NES is 30 years old now. Wow.
Turned 30 years old yesterday. We did not grow up with one.
Nope.
But we got one later in life, and we've played the games later in life, so I feel we can review this system and look back on it without nostalgia glasses on. So to be objective.
So you actually bought me a Super Nintendo for a birthday or something?
A random birthday, yeah.
Did you get it on Amazon?
I did get it on Amazon. That was back when you.
It was a great console. It was like there was nothing wrong with it. It was friggin' like pristine.
It wasn't yellowed. It came with all the stuff, and it wasn't expensive either. Like nowadays, like a Super NES is like, surprisingly expensive. But like back then, it was only like $40, I think.
Yeah, no, I remember it being 40. Also, before we got a Super Nintendo, this guy came into GameStop, and he wanted to trade me a Super Nintendo for a copy of Super Mario World. And I was like, we don't do that here, because this is before we had retro games. I was like, we don't do that here, but come back in a week and I'll do that for you. Like, personally, I will just do that. So I bought a copy of Super Mario World off of Amazon for like barely anything. And then he came into the store and he wanted to sell me the grossest, shittiest Super Nintendo I've ever seen with none of the cables. And I was like, bro, I can't do this. So then I just had a copy of Super Mario World. And then Will got me the SNES for one of my birthdays. Yeah. But we grew up with a Sega Genesis. We never had a Super Nintendo. I didn't play any of these games until they were available in emulators on PC. And that was still pretty early.
Yeah.
I want to say that was like during the N64 GameCube era is when I started playing.
It might have
been.
Games. Yeah, no, we were definitely in high school.
Yeah.
Around then. So definitely around that era. But even still, we did experience these games, and we have fond memories of these games at different points in our life. But because we grew up with a Genesis rather than an SNES, our view of it, I think, is different than all these other people who are, doing retrospectives and whatnot on the Super Nintendo.
Right. I mean, I remember always wanting to get into Super Mario World. We'd go to Sears and I would play it there.
Yeah.
So, and then, once it was available on emulators, I played through it on emulators. But the only other game I was really interested in was Mega Man X, which I think might be the best Super Nintendo game. And I played the hell out of that. I remember that. That was one that that was another emulator game that I played sometime in high school. And I think those are the two ones that I really needed in my life that I was missing out on.
Yeah. Definitely those. Like I said earlier in the show, I'm currently playing through Super Metroid because we became Metroid people later on in life when Prime and Fusion came out. And those are really the only two Metroid games I actually ever seriously sat down and played. Because I dabbled in Super Metroid when we had the emulators and stuff, but now I'm actually sitting down and playing it. And I've said that there are I can argue that there are experiences on the Genesis that are comparable to what you can get on the Super Nintendo, and I will stand by that. However, I'm having a hard time finding something comparable to Super Metroid.
Right.
Because of the way it's laid out and its style and the fact that it can create such good atmosphere for a 16-bit game is really unique and special. And there's not a lot of games that can say the same thing. I will say that wall jumping in that game is shit. I don't care. I don't care when anyone says it's difficult, and I don't like it, and it sucks that you have to use it as frequently as you do. Once you get the spin jump, that changes everything. You don't have to use it as much. But still, wall jumping in that game is shit. I don't care. But that is one of those games where, yes, everybody says it's a great game because it actually is. And I think if you have Switch Online, you should definitely check out Super Metroid because it might actually be the best game on the system. Legitimately.
I think my internet is doing a hiccup right now.
Yeah, I think you.
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Yeah. The Twitch stream is spinning and you're chopping in and out.
Yeah. OBS disconnecting. It's coming back. You said the chat was chopping up?
What?
You said the chat was spinning?
No, the video spinning.
Okay.
You're I'm losing you left and right.
Yeah, it doesn't usually happen where the video is like the Discord gets cut out, so that means my internet's doing a thing. Not much I can do about that. Oh, and there goes Discord entirely. All right. Oh, there Will's back.
Hey.
I guess
hope you all got to hear my Super Metroid rant.
I guess I could stop and start the stream again. Let's see what that does. Oh, it's coming back.
Okay.
All right, good.
All right.
We're back.
So yeah, play
Sorry,
Super
everybody.
Metroid if you haven't. It might actually be the best SNES game.
So I've been playing Metroid. Well, I kind of stopped. I was playing Samus Returns, which is the remake. Mm-hmm. It's good. Like there's a lot of like things that I think could have been improved in that game, especially because it's a freaking remake. Like there could have.
It's a remake of a GBA game, of a Game Boy game.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I got Metroid 2 and Super Metroid confused in my head just now.
Which is because the title screen for Super Metroid starts off, it says Metroid 3, and then it says Super Metroid.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I only played Super Metroid for a little bit when I was making a video on all of the SNES Switch Online games, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, when we were playing when we were talking about our console tier list, part of my argument was that I think that Super Nintendo had a lot of had a wider breadth of games of a higher quality than Genesis. And we didn't bring up Super Metroid because I didn't even. I
wasn't playing it at the time.
Right. One of the games that I would have said was Mega Man X because I don't think there's anything comparable to on.
I would argue
Genesis.
Gunstar Heroes.
I wouldn't. I don't think that game's that good. I think that game is a game that people hold on to as a Genesis classic, but I don't think it's. If that game came out on Super Nintendo, no one would give a shit about it.
I don't think you are correct.
I will say Shinobi 3. Maybe that's comparable.
Yeah,
but
I don't think SNES has like a ninja game.
No.
Yeah.
But anyway, it had a bunch of Mega Man games.
I've
only ever really played X though. I haven't played much of X2, and I didn't play 3 or 4.
I never hear anybody talk about the Mega Man X games beyond 1. Like nobody ever talks about like how much they love X2 or X3.
I think 4 is the one everybody loves.
Yes. I think that's the first PlayStation one.
But you have to get there.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. I think so what I think happened was there's Mega Man X, fucking awesome, one of the best games ever created. And then they put a B team on X2 and then made X3.
Okay.
So I don't know why they would put a B team on the second game in the franchise. It's just weird.
I don't know, dude.
They like already knew they were gonna make a fuck ton of Mega Man X games before they even freaking made the first one. But anyway, one of these days I'm gonna play through all those Mega Man games. I played a bunch of X because that game's just so good. Anyway, I don't know any other Super Nintendo games I could rant about. I mean, All Stars, Mario All Stars.
Yeah, Mario All Stars, of course. You played a lot of Link to the Past, right?
True. That was my previous favorite Zelda game before Breath of the Wild, but also I am not a big Zelda fan. So
right.
Yeah, that's really. I also I think on Switch Online I played Kirby's Dream Course the most.
Oh yeah,
that game is sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, Star Fox, of course. Mario Kart. But we didn't play much of these games. Mario All-Stars I do play a decent amount of.
Mario All-Stars is great. Yeah.
People love Earthbound, never played it. Yep. Mario RPG, never played it. Bomberman, we played on the Sega Genesis.
Yes.
And yeah, that's basically all I gotta say. Anyway, happy 30-year anniversary, Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Here's to another, or maybe not, because you're not a system anymore. But release more games on Switch Online. Maybe Earthbound, and maybe we'll actually play it.
Yeah, maybe. One more thing I want to say to our European listeners. Hello, how you doing? You can get a free time with Switch Online. You can extend your Switch Online subscription for free. All Switch owners across Europe can currently claim a free trial of Nintendo Switch Online, even if you've already made use of it in the past. You can do so by heading to this page. What is the page? mynintendo.com/rewards/ all this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll put it on screen right now. Good luck. It's right there. Pause the screen. Anyway, you can head to this page on the official My Nintendo website. As long as you sign in with your Nintendo account, you'll be able to grab the free 7-day trial and throw yourself into some online games. Under usual circumstances, using up a free trial leaves you with the option of either paying for a subscription or giving up the services benefits, so opportunities to claim a second trial don't always come around. You have until the 10th of September to claim your trial. Just remember that if you do sign up, Nintendo's cheeky system will set you up for an automatic renewal and will charge you for, whatever. So make sure you cancel it if you don't actually want it anymore. But yeah, it's only Europe, so you're gonna need a European Nintendo Switch account, which is easy to set up if you want to do that. But anyway, that's all the news that we have.
Well, wait, did you see on that Nintendo Life article for the free Switch Online, top right, Heritage Auction responds to allegations of fraud and deception? This article is from 14 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
So we have breaking news.
Breaking news.
I'll just jump to it. Heritage Auction wishes that it had been given the opportunity to respond before the video's publication. They're referring to the video by Carl Jobst. Because there are numerous misstatements of fact and inaccurate conclusions contained within the piece. Heritage strongly refutes any allegation that it or its officers are involved in shill bidding, market manipulation, or any similarly illegal or unethical practices. Heritage prides itself on our transparency and being a place built by and for collectors.
Shill bidding.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
And Carl Jobst replied, "We have conducted an investigation in record time and found ourselves to be innocent."
What? Oh. Has told VGC it strongly refutes any allegations, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to go through the tweets here. I am shocked the new report alleges that auction and grading fraud is being a recent surgery, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they basically didn't say anything. They just said, it wasn't us. We didn't do it.
Yeah.
They
of course they would
anything.
say that. Of course they would say that. They're Heritage Auction. They're supposed to be reputable. They're trying to save their ass here. But, something's going to drop. A shoe's going to drop sooner or later.
WADA hasn't provided an official response to any of these allegations at the time of writing. If you want to learn more, watch the freaking video. This is all just this is like a really poor excuse to save their own ass. Yeah. And I like Heritage Auctions, but also like that this is being artificially inflated.
Yeah, you have to know.
Like there had to have been some integrity there where you step in and go, "Yo, this isn't worth this much money. Something's up." Yeah. But I mean, why would you when you're making all of that money? They make a commission on this shit, That's a huge percentage. Whatever percentage they make of 1.56 million is a lot of money. So of course they're not going to step in and go, "Hey, it's not worth that much."
Yeah.
I mean, the way the free market should work is it's worth whatever people are willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
But there's something going on there where it's being artificially inflated.
Mm-hmm.
That's people abusing the free market system.
Yeah.
Anyway, now we're done.
Yes.
Now we can do the tweet of the week.
Tweet of the week. Tweet of the week. Tweet of the week.
Did you put this here?
I put that there. I saw you didn't have a tweet of the week, and I decided to put this there.
Good, because I did not have one. Video Game Advisor.
Yes.
How to master the video games.
And this is the advice that was in How to Master the Video Games by Tom Hirschfield.
What does it say? I can barely read it. When you are learning a difficult video game, you should not be thinking about barbecue flavored potato chips. Good to know. All right. I'll keep that in mind.
Remember, kids, if you're trying to get through your Dark Souls, don't think about barbecue flavored potato chips.
I'll have to keep this in my back pocket next time I'm playing a difficult game that I need to master.
Yeah.
I'll pull this out. Remind me, guys. All right. Now we will talk to you. No, well, now we're reading from last week's Wolf Den Live.
If you left a comment on last week's Wolf Den podcast over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Wolf Den Podcast. This is the part of the show we will finally answer you. And of course, ladies and gentlemen watching us at home, please start leaving your questions and comments. We will get to them when we are done with everybody else.
Stir Sticks Brook from last week's Wolf Den Live, where we had Retro Game Core on the show.
Yes.
Stir Sticks Burke commented, I like having a tier list in a podcast. Give you guys time to discuss everything and talk about more obscure stuff. Of course, the regular format of talking about gaming news is still great because I don't want to read a bunch of articles. I'd rather listen to you schmucks while I work. Good. I guess that was like the two. Well, yeah, no, we were making fun of the fact that we did two tier list streams in a row. We're trying
really your podcast helps me get through my work days.
That's good, gamer lady and the Italian woman who likes to read the notifications. But I fucking have you muted, dude. It's muted. It says muted.
You can blame the game industry for the tier list because they didn't really talk about anything. They didn't really release any news that was worth talking about.
Yeah, it's like we're working on getting some topics that we can just put whenever, and I'm working on having more guests. I think it works. I think that format works best where we pre-record it and then play it during the actual show.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're liking the cool stuff we're playing around with to try to make this stupid show more interesting. Pedro Samuel, hey Will, I would like to know if, even though I hate One More Day, is it normal to like Brand New Day and Big Time? Am I deranged or something? This trailer really messed me up. I'm glad you went to the Wolf Den podcast comments to talk to you about the trailer that came out last night.
Did I answer you on Twitter? I answered somebody on Twitter about this exact same question. No, you're not. It's not wrong to like Brand New Day and Big Time.
You sure?
Big Time especially are some of the better Spider-Man stories of that era. The problem is that One More Day is just so notoriously bad that I don't know anybody who has ever talked about any of the redeeming qualities of that story.
Did you delete your tweet?
No.
It says this tweet is unavailable. It's on your page, but when I click on it, it says this tweet is unavailable.
I did not delete that tweet.
Was it too controversial?
Wait, go back.
I liked it. It's here.
You did.
But when I click on it, it says unavailable.
That's so weird. Yes. Oh man, am I shadow banned?
You're getting shadow banned, dude.
Oh shit, son.
Anyway, you tweeted, so are we just going to not acknowledge the fact that this movie is basically adapting the One More Day story, aka the worst Spider-Man story?
Yeah, so like everybody's excited for this movie. Everyone thinks it looks cool and whatnot. And yeah, to be fair, I'm excited for it. It does look cool. But the initial premise of it, the world knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, so he wants to try to make people forget with the use of magic. That's the same premise as One More Day. And One More Day, it's not just me talking. It's generally considered to be one of the worst, if not the worst, Spider-Man stories of all time. And it's weird to me that I know Marvel has adapted stories and they've changed it, and in some cases made them better than their comic book counterpart. It's just weird to me that they decided to adapt even slightly something as controversial and maligned as One More Day. Because, like, Civil War, I didn't particularly like that comic, but a lot of people did.
I liked it.
So it made sense. It made sense for them to adapt that.
So I have a screenshot of the trailer, and it's Peter Parker walking through a crowd of, people hating him for being Spider-Man. And somebody's holding up a sign that it's him with devil horns, and it says "Devil in Disguise."
Yeah.
Is that like a nod to the One More Day story?
Dude, all I know is that, after WandaVision, people just fucking want Mephisto to show up. And if this is how they get it, then I think they'll be happy. But that's part of the reason why people don't like One More Day.
Yeah. We talk about we bring up Spider-Man a few times, and Spider-Man has bad stories. Like, I love Spider-Man. He was my favorite comic book character for a really long time, but he just doesn't have good comic book stories.
He's gotten better. I think the problem is Spider-Man's failures are as high profile as his successes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I can name good Spider-Man stories for you to read. There's the original Stan Lee, Steve Ditko run. There's the Night Gwen Stacy died. There's the Alien Suit Saga. There's the first half of J. Michael Straczynski's run. There's parts of Dan Slott's run. The Nick Spencer run that is just wrapping up was very good, but his missteps are just as big and just as well known as his successes. The Clone Saga, One More Day, Sins Past, Superior Spider-Man, things like that. So that's the big problem with Spider-Man. His highs and his lows are about even.
I think I just like the character, and he has some good one-offs that I like single issue comics that I would read and like. But yeah, his big overarching storylines that like change everything about his lore and stuff just fucking ruin it.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do we got? We got Dennis Rigdon from last week. Listen, Bob, just one Ghibli movie. Fred said, did I miss something? Have you not watched a Ghibli movie? Guys, spoiler alert, I've never seen a Ghibli movie. I know you have a hard time watching movies, but there's a lot of meaning in their movies. HBO Max has them. As someone who was into filmmaking, I think you'd enjoy figuring out what they're trying to portray. I know that I would love a lot of the Ghibli movies. I just never got around to watching. Which one do I watch?
I'm in the same boat as you. I have not seen a Ghibli movie. I want to. I think the one I'm going to start with is Princess Mononoke, because that looks more up my alley than all the other shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, because that's like an action movie with like, blood and stuff. So,
Spirited Away, I feel like is that's like required watching probably.
That's like the one, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. Like that's the Ghibli movie. Also, Howl's Moving Castle is like, I think, right up there too.
Anyway, Long Win says these two men joining forces is too goddamn powerful. I think it's talking about the Retro Game Core. Emily Van Engen says, Bob, has anyone ever told you that you sound incredibly natural when doing an interview? Great job. Thank you, Emily. I didn't do anything. I was just talking to a bro,
Just two bros broing out.
I think part of it is that I only like to interview people that I already know.
Yeah.
So, like, of course it's going to sound natural. I'm just trying to talk to somebody else that I share a common interest with, Like, I'm not going to, like, interview, like, friggin' Obama. Like, if I do that, I'm probably not going to sound natural if I interview Obama.
Imagine, like, what would we talk about with Obama about video games.
I have nothing to talk to Obama about. That's like I'm not at that level. What type of coffee do you like, former President Obama? What type of espresso machine do you have in your house? Anyway, now we can be in the chat and talk to you guys.
Yeah.
We got a notification from Gamer Lady with 5 months who says, "Love your podcast, helps me get through my workday." Well, thank you, Gamer Lady.
Thank you.
Also, Mecha Dragon with 5 months. "Hey, bros, awesome podcast as usual. You two reactions are hilarious." Well, thank you, Mecha Dragon.
Thank you.
Talk to Obama about Mario. Does he have like a gaming history?
His kids had a Wii, and there was pictures of him buying Wii Just Dance on Wii 1 year. He also would blame Xbox for making kids fat, so that's something we could talk to him about. You stand by that, Barack?
Oh wait, he was really big on The Witcher. The
that's right.
president brought a copy of The Witcher and he held it or something.
Oh yeah, they're here's one of Poland's greatest exports, The Witcher 2.
All of the articles I'm seeing are from 2008. Does Obama play video games? This is from the Huffington Post. Obama has a several blockbuster leadership team.
I do know that Obama used to read comics.
Okay, yeah, well.
I do know.
What else are you gonna do as a kid in the 70s? When was he a kid?
So I can ask if he's caught up with what's been happening with the X-Men in recent years.
I don't know. I don't know if he's mentioned many games.
Yeah.
Anyway, did President Obama just order the government to study video game violence? Oh no.
Every president does that, because every president thinks that just because you play a video game means you're a murderer in disguise.
Wreck It Obama? ? Peppery Potts with 12 months. 1 year with the WULFF Den. Crazy. Keep up the good work, guys. Thank you, Peppery Potts.
Thank you.
Anyway, how bad was the storm where you are? Nothing. Zero happened.
It's just a lot of rain. I mean, there was flooding here and there, but nobody I know lost power. Nobody I know was seriously put apart by the hurricane. So
yeah, it rained in the city. So some people got some flooding. I was up north, and it didn't. It barely rained. It was nothing happened. Yeah. But my Amtrak was canceled because I would have been following the Long Island Sound, and that probably would have been bad. But I mean, nothing really happened there either. It was just windy and raining. Anyway. Don't forget, bros, they canceled that concert, whatever that homecoming concert was. What are you talking about?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Your homecoming concert? Edward Bova, Bob and Will, what do you think about the article in Nintendo Life, the super rare? We talked about it in the beginning. Super rare anniversary edition Game & Watch unit just sold for a very low price, and do you think it will affect retro gaming market at all? That's the opposite of what we read. Also, Will, what do you think about the 2 new Netflix He-Man series coming out, the CGI one and the Kevin Smith one?
Oh, God. Yeah. All right, I'll watch the Kevin Smith He-Man show. I haven't gotten around to. I was going to try and watch Cowboy Bebop, but I guess I got to watch the fucking Kevin Smith He-Man show. The new one looks awful. I'll say that. the one they show with the CGI animation, that looks bad. The Kevin Smith He-Man show looks like He-Man, was something I was not really all that into as a kid growing up. But apparently, it changes some things, and people are all flipping out over it because they made Tila a bigger character or whatnot.
Apparently, there's supposed to be a big concert in Central Park this weekend, and they just didn't do it.
I mean, it makes sense. You don't want to have a big ass concert in a rainstorm.
So apparently, here we go. Wow, the super rare anniversary edition Nintendo Game & Watch never been seen for sale. Just sold for 1,000,000 yen, which is $9,100. Was created in 1982 upon request by Gunpei Yokoi to celebrate the 20 million games sold milestone. Wow. In 1982? Damn.
Okay. Super rare. That's why that sold a lot of money.
But it only sold for $9,000.
Well, you got to remember, it's a Game & Watch.
Yeah.
That doesn't have the name brand recognition as like Super Mario Brothers. Look, like I said before, it doesn't surprise me that a version of Super Mario Brothers sold for a lot of money.
This should be worth more.
You think so?
I mean, no. I think the going market rate is $9,000, but there's stupid things selling for a milli.
Mm-hmm.
This is worth more than those things because this is super rare. It's the first console to have a friggin' D-pad on it. It's Donkey Kong. It's like it's got friggin' Gunpei Yokoi on the cover. Right? That is him, right?
Yeah, I think one of them is.
And Momose and Ishida. They look like the Pep Boys. This is this is a big deal console. So this is I think $9,000 is a steal. If you're comparing this to the other bullshit that's been selling for an insanely high price lately. It's a game and a watch. Yes, Sushi Solar.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Because no one knew this existed until someone said it did. That's true. Yeah. That's how rare it was. It was live on CNN. The concert lasted a few hours, but was called off midway through. That's terrible.
Yeah.
People are asking about Cowboy Bebop. Watch Cowboy Bebop. Forget Kevin Smith He-Man.
I mean, there's less episodes of Kevin Smith's He-Man, so I feel like I can just plow through that and then start Cowboy Bebop.
Wait, you've never seen Cowboy Bebop, the anime?
No, I've seen Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
The problem is I saw it 20 years ago, so there's not a lot of it I remember, and I want to watch it before the live-action version comes out November 19th.
I tried to rewatch it, and I only got to the first episode. But let me tell you, that first episode, crazy. It's like it's sad as all hell. It's like it comes out of left field, that first episode.
Yeah.
But it's very good. Live action Cowboy Bebop, I gotta be honest, I'm not liking the way it looks.
I mean, it looks like Cowboy Bebop. It looks as close as you can get live action wise. I want it
to be stylized more. It feels like they got them all dressed up and just put them in some neon signs and just took some or like they put them in the middle of like a street and just took some pictures. That's what it looks like.
Well, those might just be costume tests. Those might not actually be from the show.
Right.
So we'll have to see, like, if a trailer comes out, what it's actually going to look like.
I want it to be shot like a noir, you know?
Yeah.
I want it to look good.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll look good. Netflix shows always look good.
Mm-hmm. So. Well, you have all the anime adaptations they did that were shit.
Right. But this is Cowboy Bebop. This isn't any other anime adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Anyway, Nathan, thanks for gifting us up. Appreciate it. Favorite Switch game for both of you?
Maybe Odyssey? Like overall, I'd have maybe Odyssey.
Super Mario Odyssey is definitely up there. Yeah, I might have to go with that. Also, Smash Brothers. I feel like Smash Brothers is up there too.
Yeah.
But it's hard to pick between the two. Ask me 2 weeks ago, I might have said Mario Maker, but I played the multiplayer again recently, and I was just not having it. YouTube recommended your channel to me, and I'm addicted. I'm watching all the videos. Thanks for the great content. XO from Brazil. All these Brazilian people.
Damn.
Thank you, Juliana.
You better get Izzy on here to be interviewed. Start doing that Brazil synergy.
All right. I think we're done here. We're late.
Okay.
Still. Thank you, people, for hanging out with us.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for chatting with us. As always, the WULFF DEN Podcast is every single Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/WULFFDEN. If you can't make the show for any reason at all, we always put it up on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WULFFDEN Podcast, so you can watch it on demand whenever you want. If you prefer to listen to us rather than watch us, you can do that as well. We're also an audio podcast on anchor.fm/YouTube podcast and your preferred podcast service of choice. But no matter where you get this show from, please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review us, because that helps us with placement on all of those respective platforms.
I don't know if I'm gonna be live tomorrow. My whole week is messed up. But I'll try my best. I'll definitely be on Thursday though. So look out for a stream then, and maybe I'll keep playing Ocarina, because that's what you people want to see, right? For now, what happened? Am I raiding or what? I'm trying to raid friggin' AJ. Oh, raid WULFF Den. I always do that. I always write our own name. All right, everybody go watch.
Yourself?
You don't. It doesn't work. Go watch AJ. Talk to him about Pokemon. He's playing Pokemon Unite. He's been playing a lot of that. I don't know how. I'll see you all sometime later. Goodbye.
Bye.